Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do begin, let me go ahead and give a brief little review. In the last part, we had a number of events happening. Deku, he decided to try and fight a lot of people. Some were quick to take down when he got to UA. And this place certainly was quite the death trap. There are arms dealers and a market for a lot of things here. If you can think it, they might be able to either sell it to you or buy it from you. Now, people were brought to UA and told about the bounty system, how it does work and how it does operate. Deku, he was quite alarmed to discover Dr. Ujiko, a man who he's heard bedtime stories about as a child, actually is a real person. A man capable of taking a person and twisting them into a monster that's unrecognizable. And that it certainly does mean something. Him and Kami, they went into the exam ready. Deku may not have been able to take out one of the Nomu that were considered the most wanted, but he did run into an old acquaintance of his. He fought Bakugo Katsuki, and their battle was very short-lived. Deku also managed to run into Todoroki, a person who had a half and half ability. And Deku, he discovered exactly what 100% of One For All looks like when it does go to be channeled through a finger, and then through a fist, since he did break his right arm throwing a punch at him, taking out a number of people and drawing the attention of the bosses. Right now, people, they were getting cleaned up. The exam ended, and those who were dead were left there to be cleaned by UA. Those who are still alive are probably going to be found and pulled off the premises. And then if they're lucky, they may not be charged. But that is very unlikely. Nezu does like money. It gets him more cheese. Now, with that being said, a lot of things have happened. The rising stars were announced and they were taken in. People that did draw the attention of the higher ups. This year is quite a promising lot. 16 were called to go to the auction, where they can sell their services as enforcers. And this does mean something. The auction is still getting prepared. The families are coordinating with themselves and their own internal affairs. Meanwhile, there is the fact that doctors have begun to look over the rising stars that were brought in. Deku had a nominal amount of injuries. A broken arm, 2 broken fingers, along with burns on parts of his torso. Along with the fact that he did also have 3 different broken ribs and a couple of cracked ribs. Bruising all along his back as well. And a lot of people, they were looking around at each other after they were bandaged up or healed by another doctor. And they were told something quite simply. A doctor walking over and slipping something into Deku's hand. Him going to take it as the doctor does express. That right there is a little expensive. Right now, he does have the option to take it and be charged a couple grand after the auction's over. It can be taken from whatever family does pay for his services. Or he can flat out reject it and not get involved. What's it going to be? I'll take it. Good. Him handing Deku a second one, talking about it. He's supposed to give him 2 for that deal. Okay. Why do most people try and take it like that? not as effective. Doesn't work, and I'm sure you don't want to hear the rest. It gets a little violent out the other end. Oh, as if you take just one. Okay, I get it. Him popping them in his mouth and being quite surprised at the weird flavor they do to have. They taste very sour, but they do go down after some water. And he does get to lean back and settle in with his broken arm. Right now, a lot of people looking around at each other. And Deku, he does sit right next to Kami, as there is where he does to glance over and see Todoroki. Todoroki currently is being bandaged up by a doctor and scolded about a few things, since it seems like he definitely had some problems. Though, with the fact that he does have some blood running out of the side of his mouth, he's assuming that he got pretty messed up. And Todoroki does get a turn, glancing over at Deku. Deku meeting his gaze and not looking away. Before there is or someone does get a shout about how that fucking hurts. And everyone does a turn, looking over at Bakugo. And Bakugo, he does his own grunt with the effort. Him looking around at everybody, and his eyes do to lock directly on Deku. And Deku does a turn, meeting his gaze. Before he does it a fully turn and go to bring up his left hand. Him going to put it into a bit of a fist and go to stare at Bakugo. And he does go to grunt, looking away and looking around the room. Though Deku, he does feel a bit awkward. He is getting the stink eye from the girl with the vines for hair. And the blonde guy is here too. Hell. He took count. In this room, there's like 16 people. Without him, that's 15, and 4 of them, he actually fought. I mean, he thought he beat Todoroki. He knows he beat Bakugo and Ibara. But, then there's him. The guy with the copy ability. And that one, it does somewhat intrigue him. A screen going to pop up as everyone does a turn, and Kami does talk about it. So, how does he think everything went? I don't know. You got a lot of people, right? I did, but I don't know if I'm in the top 5. Or the top 10. I know I definitely didn't make the top 5. Huh. Right. I think I at least made the top 5. Huh. I think you made the top 3. You're bouncing around out there like a fucking animal. Like Mirako. Him giving her a grin. And she does want to jab him in the rib. Though she might get shit from a doctor. Right now, her own arm's going to hurt. And their ace of the screen does get a pop-up. As it does express. Now, this is quite the interesting event. A small, rat-like man going to sit there. And he does get to express. They have 16 candidates today for the auction. Right now, he does believe that they can save the most interesting one for last. To all the candidates who are currently watching, they will step into the next room. The higher-ups will then begin the auction at 1 million at the base price. The offer can be raised or lowered. However, the initial bet does start at this price, and will slowly but surely raise. If they've ever seen an auction, it does follow those typical rules. Except for one thing. They may take a lower price from someone else who has already bid on them. For example, Ryuko could not bid on a candidate that Genist and Endeavor are betting on, unless she joins in at a raised price. The bid will only ever start low, and will slowly but surely raise in price. The people who are given this offer, they do take about 20% that will go back into their family. That needs to be understood. Immediate contribution that should cover them for quite a little bit of time. Then there is the fact that UA will then take 25% for the opportunity and to help cover some additional fees. Clear quite a number of things up, which will later be explained in the auction if that question does go to arise. Why spoil the fun? And then there is the fee that will be given to that person, 55%. And Deku does get to hear that. 55% of $1 million? That's still over $500,000. That's a lot of money. And he does that turn looking at everybody else, as there is what the name is called. Right now, a board going to pop up showing the bounties that were placed. And it does mean much. And Deku, he's quite surprised seeing he placed in the top 3. Todoroki, he does still have that golden star by his name, though he's not too far behind him. He made sure to take a lot of people out. Even then, if he thought he took out Todoroki, shit, that does mean a bit. Though Bakugo's in the top 5. Huh. He thought he got his points after he took him out. Maybe not. Maybe he should have just killed him. That might have been a lot easier then. How the hell did you place in the top 5? What the hell are you even doing here, Deku? My name's fucking Izuku. Call me that again and I will break your fucking teeth. Or do you want to go for a round 2? Him turning and pointing directly at Bakugo. And Kami does bring a hand up talking about it. He really shouldn't be moving with his ribs cracked. The doctors will give him shit, and does he really want to try and do that? Besides, not here, not now. How the hell did you even get into UA? I'm quite curious myself. Him going to look over at Todoroki. And he does get to speak. He's got a hell of a lot of power behind him. I mean, he thought he was going to kill him. No offense, I thought I did kill you. No, you didn't. No, you shot me. It wasn't a bullet. I know. Trust me, I know. They, were surprised by that. Is he really that strong? He is. He moves like Mirako. She trained me. Does she? Shit, that explains your temper. Maybe. Though, I don't think that that's it. Listen, I'd love to talk to all of you later, but right now, we gotta figure this all out. Besides, I'm a little worried myself. Him going to look back forward at the screen. And that part is true. While he would like to knock Bakugo's teeth out, especially right now, there is the fact that the auction does have him a little antsy. Sir Night-Eye seem to be on edge. And there is where the name is called. A guy with purple hair going to stand. And Shinso does step into the room as he does go to look around. And the bosses, they do all gotta focus their gaze directly onto him. Right now, him going to stand there at the door. The man going to be forced forwards by the mouse, who does go to Express, going to step in and tell him, grabbing him by his pant leg and pushing him forward. He really can't be shy right now. The man pushing him directly into a circle and talking about it. Now, This one did show remarkable talents with his quirk. From their understanding, he brainwashes people, and he is able to maintain some control over them. That certainly is quite a valuable skill. He did use it to take on a number of people and order them around, getting them to use their quirks. And well, under technicality, he did get their contribution to the bounty. Hmm. Brainwashing. How does it work? I just have to talk. After you respond to me, it triggers. The man glaring at him, and Shinso does talk about it. It activates when he speaks, but he didn't turn it on then. Interesting. So, where do you think that ability can get you? I don't know. I'll bet on him. Redestro gonna raise a hand, talking about how he'll take the million. And everyone does it a glare at the man. Him a little gun-ho. And Night-Eye, he does it sit there thinking about it as Ryuko does it a jump in. Her raising the bid as Endeavor, he even does it a jump in. And this is where Genist, he does a jump in. All of them quite intrigued about this power. And Shinso, his bid does raise up to 10 million, then up to 15. It does go up to 20, and then it does a cap out at 25 million. It, finally, a little too rich for some of the others' blood. And he does get to walk out and back into the room, sitting down after he does go to grin. And that, it does look good on him. And right now, the process does get to begin. Right now, Todoroki, he is called out. Whenever he does go to walk out, Endeavor, he automatically does get a bid over 10 million for his son, offering him this money. And whenever he does do so, there is where some of the other bosses do glare at him. Genist even asking him if he's willing to go a little higher. He is quite interested to see what an Endeavor could do. Then again, he does think it's a little cheeky trying to raise the stakes of his own son like that. Deku blinking. That guy is Endeavor's fucking son? Holy shit. He almost murders Endeavor's son. Well, that is a blood feud he is happy to have avoided. Kimi going to grab Deku by his shoulder. Him going to somewhat flinch and go to turn to give her a gaze. And she does talk about it. He fought that guy? Yeah. I didn't know he was an Endeavor. I mean, that's incredible. He's the actual crime boss's son? Sounds like it. Shit. That's incredible. Todoroki going to be picked by his father, even though there was the idea of raising the stakes to see what he would do. And there is where he does come walking back out, and the process does continue. Mina does a step in, her walking out a bit later with an offer she was given. Ibara does step in, and while she has a little wince hearing about her failure to beat Izuku, she does go to still receive an offer from Ryuko. It's going up to 20 million. And she does bow her head, happy and ready to take this offer, refusing the one that did come from Overhaul. And this is quite intriguing. Right now, there is where people do go to walk in, and some do go to walk out a little disgruntled by some of the offers they were given. Deku, he does watch the process go on. And Nasa does go to walk in, coming back out quite happy and strutting about the offer for over 70 million he got to join Best Genist. And that certainly was something. Right now, Deku tensing up as Kimi she does to be called. Her turning and going to give Deku a kiss on the cheek before she has to jump up and talk about how wish her luck. Her going to run into the room, and Deku does a turn to follow her. Him quite alarmed by that, and he does go to nod his head towards his friend as she does come stepping in, and there is where someone, Ryuko, does automatically bid, talking about how she'll go ahead and raise it up to 15 million. She saw the girl's particular abilities, stealthy and quite interesting. 20 million. Right now, Sir Night-Eye going to cast a bid. In this, it does mean something. That's only the second time he's jumped in. Then again, this girl is one of his. 25 million. My organization can offer you a number of things. Not interested. Are you certain? 25. We have a number of benefits. And if you do perform well, then you could become a leader of your own little faction. As long as you do understand that I'm in charge of my territory, then there is the fact that what land you are given to patrol, it is yours to do with. Gather subordinates or indulge in certain other things. Not interested. I'll take Nade's offer. Her nodding her head to the man. And the man, he does a smile, nodding his head to her. Happy to see that loyalty has been maintained. And this is to go on. Tokoyami does go through. Then there's Kirishima. Ochako, she even is to go through. Her quite happy to run out with a 20 million offer. And she does feel excited. And there is actually Deku. Deku does to watch Bakugo stand and go to walk in. Right now, him going to be one of the last as he does to talk about it. When he does to walk into the room. Right. He's got explosions. Do you now? 15 million. Not a bad offer. 30. You don't even want to know? We saw your abilities on display. Quite impressive. You can take quite a bit of a beating, too. Combat experience? Some. I see. 45. 50 million. 65. Deku surprised. Genus wants to hire Bakugo. And that is interesting. You could be quite useful in my organization. We do need strong physical combatants like that. Along with that, your smell. What is that scent? It's my quirk. Nitroglycerin just smells like that. Interesting. It could make a lovely perfume. It's an explosive lady. Her going to try to hide a sneer on her face, though she does it to place a bid. And there is where Deku does stare at the others in the room. Right now, one man has yet to bid, though he's not sure if that's for some sort of practical reason or he's just waiting to do so. He's never heard of that guy, the guy wearing the bird mask. Then again, he doesn't really travel. He's surprised, though, that all the bosses are here. And that guy with the glasses, he must be the doctor. 95. Sure, I'll take that. Though my family's in the next town. Not gonna be a problem. Your family can be transported. UA will authorize their familia protection and send out a vehicle for them once authorized and approved. Though, They'll be taken from the 25% that they are being paid. Hazard fees. Deku nodding his head in understanding. And Bakugo, he does gonna nod his head. Grateful that Sir Night and the All Might Familia is gonna be where he does get some experience. And there is where Monoma, he is called into the room. Him standing up with a bit of a grin, quite happy and going to step inside. Everything's been pretty standard so far. Some people have gotten 3 bids, others have gotten 4. But whenever Monoma does a step in, he does get 5. The bidding for him does start out with that guy with the mask, Genist, and then even Sir Night jumping in. Only whenever the bid does go over 50 million. And that does mean something. Though Night, he does gonna start bidding a little bit more desperately. Him even jumping the pot up to over 100 million. And that it does go to make the man's grin go wider and wider and wider. And he does watch Endeavor somewhat bite his lip before there is where Best Jeanist does express 150 million. Let's go ahead and cut out all the subtleties. If the kid was really worth that much, then they'd bid higher. Then again, is someone willing to contest his bid? 200 million. Him going to sneer at Endeavor. It hidden by his coat. And there is where Monoma does turn glancing at Endeavor, turning back and talking about it. He'll take the 150 million. He does have to say he's quite excited for that, along with the fact that his family, they're in a good territory. Him going to grin. And Endeavor, he does go to glower at the kid. He's throwing away a perfectly good opportunity, a better one. And then there is where a girl with black hair does get a stand. Her being called into the room, and everyone, they do have a little bit more hunger in their gaze. And Deku does get a stare at that. Right now, whenever the bid does start for her, all of the families do start jumping in. The bidding does quickly go to around 100 million, 150, 250, 300 million. And Nadai, he even does throw out an offer of 400 million, only for it to immediately be countered by Ryoko's offer, 500 million. And this does cause the room to fall silent. Her just looking around at everybody. And she does feel a bit like a deer in the headlights. She knew her power of creation was good, but not 500 million good. That would be enough for her parents to hide properly, get somewhere safer, and not have to deal with the enemies they've made. Along with having familiar protection, yeah, she, are your family in any trouble? Huh? Is your family in some sort of trouble? Yaoyorozu, that name rings a bell on my tongue. The Yaoyorozu family? We know people outside of Japan. Do you? That's interesting. Her gonna lean forwards and talking about it. They have investigated her family before, if she's not wrong. You have. You think that we have dealings with foreigners outside the country, that we deal with some of their familias. We have connections. Yes, but you can't get us luxuries. All Might's faction typically does handle that. Then again, luxuries are something that are quite nice. I'm well aware. I'm sorry for lying. My family doesn't have connections at all. The overseas story, it's a lie. Your quirk, then. Are you saying that everything your family has ever sold is made from a quirk? Yours? Or a family member's? Perhaps? Um, well, I, um, yes. Girl, you are lucky you did not end up in the market. They would tear you to shreds. A nice little beauty like you. My people can immediately offer familiar protection and take you in. Though there are going to be certain restrictions on items you can't make. Things that aren't allowed to be used. But that does mean that you have a longer list to work with. There's a number of things you can still make. Right now, Momo going to nod, accepting her offer and going to quickly move out of the room. Though they do come after Momo. Right now, them wearing a nice dress that is bright red. And she does take Momo away, quickly trying to coordinate in order to stop someone from intercepting her family. And that does mean something. And Deku, he does at a stand after his name is called, stepping into the room and going to stand before the bosses, the 6 families. And all of them, they do have their gaze fixed down on him. And Nadai, he immediately does go to jump the bid, talking about it. 100 million for him to join the Familia. And this does mean a bit. Right now, Endeavor going to talk about it. Really. He's fairly certain there's a number of things that can happen. Though, the kid shouldn't be a little too hasty. Joining All Might certainly is something he could do. Though there's a number of opportunities they could provide for him. Though, he's quite curious. What is his power? I'm not gonna say. My power is my power. Interesting. 150 million. 200 million. Overall, does it say? Him going to look at Deku. And Deku is quite intrigued. Before the doctor does get to step in, expressing, he does have quite the interesting quirk. If he's not mistaken, it is a form of enhancement. Though he's never seen a quirk that does what his quirk does before. Not at the levels provided. Then again, he would be interested to study it. 250 million. The room falling silent. And all of them do get to stare at the doctor. Since 1. Typically this guy doesn't bid. 2. That's the longest fucking sentence they've ever heard him say in this room. And 3. He's bidding on this kid. He sees the value. He knows what's right in front of him. It's enough to get him involved in the action. 500 million. Deku, surprised. 500? Yes. Clearly your quirk is of some sort of importance. The doctor does like doing business dealing with certain quirks. Factors. 550 million. Tell me, young man, what exactly can you do? You're fast, you're strong, you're fearsome, you have claws. Though, from what I've also been able to tell, you do have a bit of that bloodthirsty nature. You kill before? Do it professionally? No, I'm not a mercenary. Interesting. You're good at it. I'm supposed to be good at it. How so? I'm not going to tell you. him meeting her gaze with a little bit of resistance. And she does a bellow and a laugh talking about it. Now this is intriguing. This is a proper fucking bidding war. 1 billion. Genius does get to say, leaning forwards and expressing with his hands up. The kid fought his prodigy. He does see the value in it. Well, he does not like the fact that he's now missing quite a bit of sums. He is worried about a number of other things. 1.5 billion. Kid, if you join my familia, you and my son could be quite a powerful combination. Though I can give you a number of things in life that I don't think you could exactly get in other families. Do you want women, riches, fame, or glory? Combat. I'm sure we can find something for you. Please. Heavenly beauty can only be found in my territory, Endeavor. Or do you forget? You claimed one of my cities, and I was quite annoyed. Then you've met your lovely, lovely wife. I believe I met her mother before. You quite your tongue. $3 billion. Huh? One high-end Nomu. All of them going to freeze. And Deku does get a turn hearing that phrase. What the fuck is a Nomu? All of them glancing back at Deku. And he does a turn looking at the doctor. What is a Nomu? Artificial humanoid. I see. I didn't want to do this. 10% of our territory. The room falling silent once again. And Deku does it as someone stare on at Sir Night-Eye. What the hell is he doing? You can bet territory? Shit, how much is that worth? Sir Night-Eye, just to confirm, you're trying to bet territory. You do have authorization for this, correct? I do. I have the authorization. Only the boss is allowed to make bets like this. I see. So the rumors are true then. All of them turning back to the doctor. I see. I heard many rumors of it, but believing it was another tale entirely. So he must be dead. All of them glancing back to Night-Eye. And Night-Eye, he does try to keep his gaze steady and facing forwards. As there is where Endeavor does get a turn. He's dead, isn't he? How? What happened? He isn't dead. Bullshit. All of us have been following the rumor mill. Muscular left your organization the same time this kid popped up. Clearly he's important. How so? That isn't for you to be aware of. Fine. You want to bid? Territory? Or money? Endeavor, I have quite a lot of both. Your people are quite hungry. I'll go ahead and just bid 20... No. How about 10 billion? That'll allow some of you to still be in the running. Or are you not willing to put out? Come on, Endeavor. I'd like to see what you can do. Because if I'm at least going to fuck you, please put on some lipstick. The man glaring back at the man who just made that statement. And Ryuko does burst out laughing as Deku. He does try to push down that urge himself. The man can make jokes. And that is horrifying. That was so bad. And right now, he doesn't talk about it. He's going to take Sir Night offer. That is simple. But not the 10 billion offer. That's a lot. I see. You sure, young man? I can pay you more. It would be troublesome, but possible. I'm sure. Listen, I was already going to go with that family, but all of you are. Fuck, I don't know. All of them staring at him. And he doesn't turn looking back at the doctor, giving the man a bit of a weary gaze. And the doctor himself does good a grin. Since this kid, he's from the slums. He's seen that look before. He's seen it oh so many times. Now, Deku, he doesn't leave the room. The people behind him going to argue about what is going on. And the video is still recording. Whenever Deku does a walk back into that room, a number of people are staring at him. He got the highest bid. He even got the doctor interested. That's something that they haven't seen before. Todoroki's heard of it, but never seen it. Not even Mirio got that. And he's pretty sure Mirio is the last time that I jumped on a grenade like that. Then again, he's never seen his father do that too. He jumped on him, but he's blood. He was gonna bet on him already. He'll have to keep an eye on this guy. Make sure that if they do become enemies, he can take them out quickly. Though maybe sooner rather than later. And that is a thought that does go through Todoroki's mind. Right now, everyone, they do go to part ways. Some of them going to leave with their new familia members. And Deku, he's quite happy that Kami is still there. Though she does pass him a glance full of intrigue. Since she knows that Deku has something special about him. But, yeah. This is way different. Night Eye was willing to go up. Up and up and up. Not just that. A territory bet? That is dangerous. Very dangerous. But she does even get to ask. The doctor was interested in him? What the fuck is his quirk? Sorry. That was a little nerve-wracking. You're telling me they were looking at you like you were a fucking candy bar. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, that was a little nerve-wracking. I'm sure. Is that why Night Eye's so invested in you? Yeah. It is. Shit. So, it wasn't a fluke then? A fluke? The city thing. The thing you did with your arm? No. It, well, I can't tell you about that just yet. Yet? So there's a chance? I know you made a hefty sum of money, so how about buying a pretty girl some dinner? Would you be willing to settle for a good burger place? I would love a burger. Though, I know this really good ramen joint. Please, you two are gonna make me vomit. Bakugo walking up. And Deku does give the man a glare. Right now, him going to talk about it. Is it true? Huh? Is it true? Is All Might actually dead? I mean, shit, man. I just want to know. Is it true? Deku falling silent. Some of the people in this room staring at him. And he does go to try and keep a straight face. No, he's not. So why'd you hesitate? He's dead, isn't he? Tell me the fucking truth. I don't have to tell you shit, Bakugo. Deku stepping forwards. Right now, you're in my world. This is my family. Where were you? Huh? What were you doing? Your family still being fucking merchants? Or did you decide to sell your mom off? What's going on? How the hell did you get here? Why are you even here? I'm here to get in somewhere. Why are you here? How are you here? We'll talk about that later. Right now, him going to turn. Someone stepping into the room and taking the members of the Yagi family away. Though a lot of people do still focus on that confrontation those two were having. As Sir Night-Eye, he does try to make sure to leave things a little bit more peaceful. Though he knew it was a bit of a gamble. A territory bet. Yeah. This certainly is something else. A bad call? Maybe. But maybe not. This is a problem. One he will have to address. Him raising a phone to his ear. And with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed. And have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.